This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Let's face it, life after service ain't always easy. Far too many veterans continue to struggle in silence. But you don't have to fight this battle alone, because we are here to help. This ain't no group therapy. It's the after party to the battle. Full speed ahead, after battle. Real thought, real stories, no BS.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another episode of Full Speed Ahead After Battle. As always, I am your host, Josh McCabe, here on MB Radio. You can follow us all along at mbradio.us or one of the links above on Roku, Firefly, Instagram, Facebook, X. You can follow me on Full Speed Ahead After Battle on Facebook, my personal page at Joshua McCabe on Facebook, or on Instagram, Josh McCabe 817. Follow me at YouTube at Full Speed Ahead After Battle. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, do all those things. Again, as I always say, not to make me look famous and rich and all that good stuff, just to help us get that message out there. These messages that we talk about each and every week, as I always say, are important messages that we need to get out to our veterans on a timely basis, as promptly as we can, as much as we can. We need to flood social media. We need to do all the things, right? Because as I say every single week, 22 veterans commit suicide every single day. It's gone down a little bit, but when you factor in, civilians, first responders, then the number still goes back up. I don't care who you are. Suicide is never the answer. Mental health is always an issue. These are things that people think there's stigmas around and they won't talk about it because it's bad juju or whatever they want to think about it. These are things that we do need to be talking about, y'all. So what's going on last week? Cowboys lost again, surprisingly. I don't know where they were last night. They just did not show up. They were not showing like the regular Cowboys. Again, Dak put up some great numbers. However, team just didn't show up to play. I don't know what happened there. But as a Cowboys fan, I always say, this is our year, but I know deep down in my heart it's never going to be our year until we get rid of that head coach, Jerry Jones. That's a whole nother story. A lot of things going on in the world these days, government shutdown. So, for everybody that's out there dealing with that, I'm with you. I've been there. I served when we had government shutdowns as well. Not quite as long or as serious as this one, I think. However, there are a lot of good people, groups out there that are willing to help those veterans, active service members right now. I do know off the top of my head, the VFW National has come out and they will be giving funds to the state, each state. So if you're a veteran in need, reach out to your local VFW. They'll be able to help you out. They're not going to be able to cover your paycheck, your rent, mortgage, anything like that. but they'll do what they can to help you out, whether it's monetary, groceries, things like that. The VFW has made that promise to our veterans. So get out there, reach out to your local VFW. Don't worry about it. Things happen. We know that's what we're here for, right? Veterans are here for veterans. That's what we do. Other than that, as I always say, I don't get into the politics and stuff. We could go much more in depth on what's going on, but I'm just not here to do that. That's not my message. We have some great shows on MB Radio that talks about that, and I'm going to leave it up to those professionals because, I don't want to deal with it. That's just me. What's coming up though? A couple busy weeks coming ahead. This week I will be in Justin, Texas. I've been asked to speak at the Veterans Day event that they're having out there. They are doing a veterans walk from City Hall to Bishop Park. And then they've got several great veterans speaking at that event. I'm actually kind of proud to be asked to speak at this event because I will be following the Don Graves. If y'all have not heard of him, you need to look him up. He was a corporal in the Marine Corps. He was in Iwo Jima on Mount Suribachi. 5'6", I think, is what he claims, carrying a flamethrower. He's about 80 people. He was one of about 8 people out of his platoon that made it off that island alive. He has some amazing stories. I met the man several times. Hilarious guy, great guy. He just turned 90-something years old, 90 years old, I believe. He's getting up there, and I have the honor to be up on stage speaking next to him, some other great veterans. So if you can't make it out for that event, I will have it recorded. I'll be putting that on social media as well. The following week, our VFW is partnering with the city of Hazlet, Texas. We'll be having our inaugural Veterans Day celebration out there. This is the first one that Hazlet has been doing. It's the first major one that the VFW, our post, has been doing. So we're proud about that. We've got a couple of great veterans to come out there. The mayor will be there. We'll have some VA, VSOs, several other groups coming out there, sharing information, helping you with your benefits, whether you need to apply for disability or any of the other benefits. A lot of information will be out there. Our guest speaker is a retired Lieutenant Colonel Tank Gunner. He's an award-winning author. I think he's got like 10 books out there. He actually wrote the write-up for a Medal of Honor recipient. So he's got some amazing stories out there. This is the time of year that I look forward to because one, it's where, a lot of, especially here in Texas, a lot of our communities come together to celebrate our veterans, support them. And I do it year round, but it's great to get out in front of the people that come out to these events, stand there and listen to the message. Our veterans, we need a lot of help now more than ever, not just our active duty ones, obviously going on right now with everything, but our veterans, on many occasions, the VA is failing us. The government's failing us. So it's us veterans, it's our veteran groups, our associations, those people that are getting out there, getting that message going, sharing the information. Once our uniform comes off, it doesn't mean that we stop serving, right? We serve in different ways. We find different missions. We find different avenues. Some people create nonprofits. Some people get out in the VFWs, the American Legions, and work that way under those names. Or if you are like my guest tonight, you kind of go through some things and then you come into a coaching, what he calls mission focused coaching. Now, I will say when I first saw his website, I just saw the MF coaching. I completely mistook that word. I thought it stood for Mother Friggin' Coaching, which for me, I would have named it, but that's us veterans. We pull you in with one thing and we show up with something else, right? This guy, he served in the Air Force, 7th generation Texan. Dude is a high-speed, low-drag veteran. He comes from the intelligence operation community within the Air Force. He's worked with a lot of those different agencies that we cannot name or we can name, or they go under Mr. Smith or whatever you want to call it. But I do want to bring on, after this short message, my guest tonight is Rex Enriquez of mission focused coaching. And so we'll bring him on and we're going to get started. So y'all watch out. It's about to get crazy here.
The interview of the week is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
All right, Rex, brother, welcome to Full Speed Ahead.
Thank you for having me, Josh. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the opportunity and the discussion. It's very much needed.
Absolutely, man. When I saw your stuff on social media and I was like, dude, he's got to come on. This is probably the most intense, I would say, guest that I've had so far, just because I've seen your videos, I've seen the work that you're doing. You're the no BS kind of guy telling veterans to get up off their butts and get going, quit feeling sorry for yourselves. You're only here, you got to get up and do it, right? There's no other way to do it.
Yeah, man. That's we're all about activating veterans, man, through forward coaching.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different organizations that deal with the pain, they deal with the trauma, they deal with the PTSD, and that's great if you need that. But you also need to move forward in your life, right? I've been through that. I've been through the PTSD. I've been through the fucking traumatic the disorders. I've been through the psychiatrists and the counseling and the therapy. I've been through all that, and they helped me.
Right.
But I also needed to help move that pendulum forward to success. And I was able to do that, coaching myself, utilizing coaching as one of my greatest tools to move myself forward in self-readiness. I like to boast that I'm all about self-readiness of the mind, body, mission, and purpose. Like, those are the most important pillars that we've got. We've got to maintain that. We've got to continue working towards that to help us move forward out of that darkness.
Awesome, man. That's great information. So before we get started, let's learn a little bit about Rex. Like I just told our viewers, you came from the intelligence community in the Air Force. And so when we hear intelligence in the Air Force, we're thinking 5-star hotel, Wi-Fi, all that good stuff, right? I mean, that's what you did, right? So tell us who Rex was, a little bit about the service, but what I want to hear more about is that transition from the Air Force into the civilian community. What did it look like? Was it a pass? Was it a fail? Tell us what you want to tell us.
Well, as you said, I'm a 7th-generation Texan. Nothing severe, nothing traumatic growing up, right? I just wanted to serve my country. I served honorably. I got in, I got out, and that transition was as much as like the military could do for you, but it's what really essentially led me to want to start up this nonprofit, which is MF Coaching, Mission Focused Coaching, and that is by design, by the way, MF Coaching.
I knew it.
Remember the name, MF Coaching,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's really what my transition, and I'm sure a lot of other veteran transitions ended up the same way, which was like, hey, here you go, good luck, see you around. And it was like, well, what do I do now, right? We lose a lot of really important things as we're exiting we're exiting the military. We lose 3 really important pillars that are vital to us, which is the mission, the tribe, and purpose, right? We had those 3. Those are very important to us. In the military, we had the mission, our goals, our objectives. We had people telling us, okay, this is what's next. This is the next thing, or the next target, or the next mission. We had our tribe, right? But what is the one thing? I'm sure that you've asked your veterans, like, what's the one thing that you miss about military life? And the fucking first statement is always the camaraderie. It's always like, my tribe. I miss my boys. I miss my whatever.
Yep.
I miss what we
100%.
had. And that's exactly what a tribe is, dude. It's exactly what you need to have in your life is a tribe. And a tribe isn't your buddies. A tribe isn't just like a group of buddies you get, you hang out, shoot the shit with. This is a tribe.
Yeah.
In the military, we were given a tribe, whether you liked it or not. We all had specific focus, goals, objectives, a mission that we had to do together. And we came together, as diverse as it was, right? Different types of people from all over the place, all over the world. We had to work together as a unit, fucking fire team, to get that shit done. And that's what we did. That's what a tribe was. We both had common goals and common interests. And then that purpose, right? Most of us had that purpose, which was to serve our country. We were willing to give our life for our country. And then you get out of the military, and then what? You get into fucking sales? Like, I'm not dissing it, but it's not the same purpose. You cannot trade something that you wanted to give your life for to like interest, like something that you're going to get a commission on. It's just not the same purpose. So those were the three major losses that we as veterans, we get cut off. And that's what they don't transition you for. They don't transition you for that. They may help you with a resume here and there. They may show you, you know, this is probably where you want to work, and that's great. What are you good at? That's great. That's fantastic. But you also need to replace and work on those three things, because those are huge. You cut those three things out, and then you get a loss of a tribe, a loss of a mission. And for our purpose here, a mission is going to be like our objectives. What is our goal? What do we want? What are we focused on? Right? Those are our goals that we make. This is the same in the military. We had our goals with our specific goals and our objectives that we needed. So they don't teach you how to start writing your own missions, how to focus on your goals, how to get what you need, how to get what you want. They don't do that. And you have a loss of purpose. And that's why I started MF coaching, because we help those veterans rebuild those three major losses that happened.
Yeah. I know when I went through TAC class back in 2011, and it might have changed a little bit since then, but really the only thing they tell you is go on the websites to Home Depot, Lowe's, these veteran-friendly companies.
That's exactly where I fucking went, dude. I went to Home Depot. That's where I worked. It's when I got out.
They wouldn't give me a job. I tried. They would not give me a job. Home Depot, Lowe's, all the websites they say go to, they hire veterans. I couldn't get a job there. Overqualified or not hiring at the time or whatever. But aside from that, the other thing that they tell you is go to the VA and do that. And if you're missing the people, go to the VFW or the American Legion. And unless you find the right post or the right place, it's just not the same, right? You miss that brotherhood. It's not the same as fighting next to that person all day, every day for years on years.
You got
and
your
so
team.
that's why we need That's why we need more groups like MF Coaching and other groups that are coming up that actually get together, get out in the community, do the rucks, do the events, and be active. And that's why I like groups like your group, because it's not let's just go sit back here and talk about doing things. Right, y'all get up and do things.
Right. That is a huge difference is action. I'm a man of action. I love action. There's so many people out there that let's just talk about transition. Let's just talk about it and talk. Dude, that's enough fucking talking, man. It's time to start doing. Do something. How do we do it? Okay, let's learn. Let's learn some skills. Let's learn some things. And move that pendulum forward in your life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, so let's talk about your service a little bit, because everybody's got different stories coming out. And so when I was just talking to a guy from the TVC, the Texas Veterans Commission, right? And we were talking about why people don't go to the VA or why people don't seek that help. And it's because, man, I didn't do as much as the other guy did in their service, right? That guy went and fought. Maybe I did 20 years seaside. But when you start sharing stories of there's people of all different backgrounds in the military, that just because you have an issue, it doesn't outrank somebody else's issue, right? And we come from different backgrounds in the military. So kind of what is, other than intelligence, working in intelligence, give a brief overview of your military experience. What did you do so people can learn a little bit more about that side of it?
Yeah, sure. Well, I would like to hit on that if you don't mind. That was a really good, because I have run into a lot of people that have that stigma about it. And a lot of people haven't even, that I know of, that I've connected with, they haven't even tried to get any of their disability because they think that they're taking money from another service member. I'm like, that's not how it works. Like if you have a legitimate issue that you need, that's a service connected issue, you need to go and get seen, man. It's very important. You're not taking from anybody else. This is one of your rights as a service member to make sure that if you have a legitimate case, to get that seen, because that's compensation for you, man. We served our country, and it's not about like, oh, I don't deserve. Look, that humble pie shit, that's done, bro. When we leave the service, and it's the civilian life, like the humbleness is great as a human being. It really is. It's really like a godsend for some. But we need to start looking at it like you're a vehicle, and as you get older, you need to go for a checkup. You need to go get seen. You're not going to say, oh, I'm not going to take my car because I want somebody else's, to take their car and not my car. No. You need to get to where you need to go too. So your car needs to be taken care of as well. So go get it checked out, work on whatever it is you need to work on, and then move on. Right? It's not like I'm gonna leave my shit in the garage and let someone else take care of their car. No. So yes, I'm glad that you brought that up, Josh, because there still is this, and that's not something I heard of like years ago. This is like I still hear that today. Like they don't want to do that because of that. I'm like, no.
Yeah. And I tell you, talking about that, it's, you need to do it as soon as you get out, because it's just like that car you're talking about. If you wait 10 years and now you're trying to diagnose 10 years worth of problems, it's going to be a lot harder to do that.
Oh yeah.
They'll give you 5% disability because none of that is disability related or service connected, because you weren't doing it all along. So you need to, as soon day one of getting out, you need to go apply for that disability, get those benefits. Man, you're not going to be a lesser person for it, right? Everybody needs that help. And when you're one of those guys that's struggling, trying to find a job to pay the bills, that disability might be what gets you through those hard times.
So absolutely.
Got to do it.
Yep.
Got to do it.
It's been really great, and to receive on the receiving end, and it has definitely helped me in my life as well. So it can definitely help that individual. And then just think about it. I usually like using the car analogy because it's mostly guys, and guys get it. Guys get the car analogy, man. We just like cars, and it's the same thing. You get out, like you said, you get out and do it now, because what happens when you let the fucking car sit, right? It starts gathering problems. All these problems, they start piling up on one another. All of a sudden, you got bad tires, bad brakes. You got to redo the not just the oil, but you got to do the filters, and it's rusty now, and it's just too fucking late. You waited too long. You've got to get that shit as soon as you get out. So yes, I just wanted to hammer that home, because whoever's listening, I want you guys and girls to just get out and just go get it checked out. Up here, mind, body, spirit, and don't lose that one thing that we had, which is our fitness. We'll get into that later as we progress through this. But yeah, so you wanted to hear about what I did. So as Intel, there are several different aspects when it comes to intelligence, right? Intelligence is something it's a very vague term that's utilized. It can be used to describe a few things. So when we think about intelligence, we just think about information. Okay, so information is like, how are we gathering all this information? And we've got several different ways that we gather information. So we have our satellites, right? They take pictures. They can take communications satellites. We've got imagery satellites. We've got all kinds of satellites that can gather information. We also have people on the ground, right? Those are our human intelligence, our human intelligence gatherers. They're the guys, the operators on the ground that are watching, maybe doing some recon, maybe gathering intel. And then we have people intercepting, right? Phone calls, right? They're translating that, linguistics. Maybe it's a different language. Maybe you have people that are specific in Russian or Chinese or Mandarin or Farsi or those types of languages, and they're putting that communication together into a nice little package. So what my job was, if when we were in the AOR, let's say for example in Afghanistan, we had different terrorist network cells, and what we would do is I would gather all those different intelligence options, bring them in, and make the picture and be like, okay, what's happening here? So I do a lot of profiling, profiling the terrorists, profiling the groups, and find out exactly what it is that they're up to, where they're going, who they're meeting with, who are they going to bomb next, or who are they selling bombs to, or all that kind of shit, and put that picture together and brief that over to our commanders, our operators who are going in, the generals, the leadership, all that kind of, depending on where you were. So I put all that picture together, sell it to them, and say, hey, look, this is where Homeboy is going to be at this time, this place, and here's a targeting package. So whatever we got, whatever assets we've got in house, let's take care of it. And that's what we would do. So I was the main guy who put it all together and try and sell that to our leadership for our strike.
No, that sounds intense. Definitely. I know there's a lot going on. I was never much into the intelligence stuff. I did the sonar operations. I mean, a little bit, I guess, with sonar operations, tracking certain, submarines and stuff. But I asked that question, and we're going to get to it after we get back from the break. But I'd like to find out what people do in the service, because did you take that into your civilian job and translate that into something you did when you got out, or did you go a completely different route? And that's what I want to kind of talk about, because I was talking about this with somebody else the other day. Sonar operations in the Navy, I did absolutely nothing with that when I got out. And
what are you going to do with that?
Right. I tried to get into like the gas and oil industry. I mean, sonar in the ground is a little bit different than in the water. Still same kind of math and tools and stuff, but not the same. So, my stuff didn't translate. So when we come back after these quick messages, we'll find out from Rex, did he take that intelligence information job role from the Air Force into a civilian life, or did he go a whole completely different route and work at some strip club down the hall? So be right back, y'all.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
All right, we're back on Full Speed Ahead After Battle with my guest tonight, Coach Rex of Mission Focused Coaching. That was Die Tired. If you haven't heard that band, I highly suggest go checking them out. We are in MB Radio is in collaboration with them. We do have a new shirt out, cross promotion of Die Tired MB Radio. The funds are going to support veterans in the local areas, all those veterans in need. So when we left off, Rex was telling us about your intelligence time. But then earlier you said you went to work for Home Depot. I'm pretty sure they don't have an intelligence center at Home Depot because I've been there and they've asked me for help. And I'm one of those people like, I know more than you, so don't ask me what I need help with. So what did you do when you got out, but other than work from Home Depot?
So can you hear me? Good. All right.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, as just like I believe a lot of our other. So here's the thing. There's most of us in the intelligence career field, when they get out, they'll go government, right off the bat. Usually, most of them they'll grab that fucking job before they even get out, right? They'll go and they'll interview for it. A lot of my airmen did that, and a lot of my my senior enlisted also did that. They just kind of jumped for that next government job, right? They bitched and they complained about the government, and the first thing they do in a government job. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, whatever, to each his own. But I mean, you complained the whole time, and now you're in it, right? So I took the other path, right? The path where it was like, okay, I'm gonna just get away from the government altogether, and I'm gonna go and try and do my own thing. I want to do something completely different, right? I didn't want to do intelligence as a contractor or something like that. I didn't want to do that. I just want to do something different, man. I'm out of the military. I've been shaving for fucking 18 years, right? I've been doing PT my whole life. I've been my hair has been short the whole time. So I just really kind of wanted to find out who the fuck I was again. Before I go on that journey, I just got out and I was like, what do I do now? I don't know. Go on monster.com, and I'm kind of aging myself a little bit there. But I mean, it hasn't been that long since I've been out. It's only been like 5 years, but still, that was what I knew back before I even got in, right? I didn't know about all the new things. So I was just thinking, what is it, Monster? So I get on there and I start looking for jobs. And I really didn't know what to do. So the first thing was just like, oh, let's just check out Home Depot. Let's see what they got going on. I mean, there was always one right there. It wasn't a whole lot of driving. Yep. I always go there to get all my home improvement needs, right, over Lowe's. Sorry, that's just how it is. I mean, I think that's just one. You're either a Lowe's person or a Home Depot guy. Yep. That's just who I am. I'm Home Depot all the way. So I did that, and I was like, man, this can't be it, right? And it's just like I'm telling you, man, this is why I started this, man, because a lot of us are going through that. We get out and we're like, we know it's not government that's going to be there, or that we want to be involved with the government anymore, but we just don't know what that other option is. We don't really truly know ourselves yet, because like I said, we just got out. We lost those three important things: mission, purpose, and tribe. And now what are we going to do? We don't know. It's a mystery. Right. But with us, mission focused coaching, it doesn't have to be a mystery anymore. So I got out and I thought, you know what? Let me get into motorcycles. I've always liked motorcycles. So I went to this place called Motorcycle Mechanics Institute, and I got my certification to work on Harley Davidson motorcycles. I grew my hair all the way down to my middle of my back. Beard was down to here. I started working on bikes. I was working on the Treasure Coast of Florida. I was working on motorcycles out there for a Space Coast Harley Davidson until fucking COVID-19 happened. And then they did like this government, the shutdown, all that shit again. Everybody shut down. And then I was like, well, I'm on my ass again and I'm back home. What am I going to do now? I thought, well, you know what? I don't want to just sit at home. So I went ahead and went back to school. I got my bachelor's degree, and I started shifting gears a little bit and started finding out that I wanted to give back to my community. So I started working for nonprofit organizations out there along the coast, the Florida's coast. And I got into a few nonprofits out there. And I thought, you know what? I'm starting to see that there's an alignment happening within myself, right? My purpose. I know now what my purpose is to help people find their purpose and to help people move that pendulum forward in their life. I know that now. I'm a coach, and I started doing coaching, kind of like unofficial coaching for a nonprofit. And that's when I started to feel the alignment. I felt it in me. I knew that my purpose was somewhere along that path, right? It was not just on this highway, but now I'm on the access road. So I'm kind of like doing, right, the access road thing. And I'm like, this isn't really my exit, but I know it's not that highway now. I'm here. So yeah, man. So it was an adventure, but there were some other things that were off still. Like my physical, the physical part, right? We have our triad, right? Our mind, body, and spirit. And my body, I wasn't taking care of it the way that I should have. Yeah, I was still working out. Like a lot of us do in the military, we did a lot of working out.
Yep.
But that is not finding your fitness. That's just working out. There is so much going on that has to do with your fitness, right? In versus out. And I'm not just talking about like the calories. There's all these other things that come in here, that come in here, that come in here. And a lot of that has to do with our fitness, our mental fitness, our physical fitness, a lot of smoking, drinking, all that nonsense.
Yep.
And I had a massive heart attack, man. I suffered a massive heart attack about 3 years now. And that was really what shook me to my core. I was like, I don't know how if you may feel this way, and maybe other guys feel this way, but before that heart attack, I was like, I'm invincible. I'm not going to die. And I'm not going to die. If I'm going to die, it's going to be like, when I'm old or in some horrible accident or something, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be my own fucking heart killing me. I didn't think that was going to be an option, but it was. And that's what recalibrated me. Man, that was a real game changer for me. I had to change a lot of things about my life. I realized a couple of things. One is that I was just surviving day by day. Day to day, I was in survival mode, right? That fight or flight mode. I was in that mode. I was like kind of going through PTSD. I was like in a bad relationship. My finances were not great. My health was not great. Like I was fucking like all the things. It was like bad. So I had to coach myself through that. I had to little by little, I had to cut like those connections to those things. I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking. I had to leave the relationship that I was. It was poisonous. It was bad. Even the job that I was in, I liked. It fulfilled a little bit of that purpose. Remember, I told you I was kind of on the access road of success, but I wasn't my exit. So I had to leave that too, because there were some things that happened there that did not align exactly the way that it should for myself. And I had to do that, man. And this is tough. This is why what we do here at MF Coaching, this isn't a fucking pill. This isn't like, I'm going to say some magic word. This is work. This is fucking work. Like you said, I tell it how it is, man. I tell people exactly what it is that you need to cut, what you need to leave. And sometimes cutting that relationship is the hardest thing you're going to have to do in your life. And I don't mean just like a relationship with a woman. I mean the relationship you have with alcohol, the relationship you have with cigarettes, the unprofessional relationships you may have at work, like your friends may be poisonous. These are very serious relationships that you may need to get rid of because they're not good for you. They're not adding to your life. They're taking away. Now that's everybody's path. I don't know. You may have a great like group of friends that are all on your side all the time, right? You're the one. Okay. So, but most of the time we don't ask ourselves these questions. And really, as a coach, that's really what we do is we want to get down to the core. Like, why? Why do you think that's important? Why are you smoking? Let's just answer that question. Why are you doing it? What's the relation? Why is it so important to you to have that cigarette?
Yeah.
You sit back and start answering that question, you're going to be like, oh, well, I mean, I have this conversation with people every week about drinking, about smoking, and they gave me the same bullshit answer. Oh, it helps me relax. It's also killing you. So can we think of another thing that may help you relax that isn't going to take away from you and your life? I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff. That's not for me to find out. That's for you to find out. I just want you to ask the question. This is your life, right? So I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to reveal the question. And that's what I had to do. Reveal that myself to myself. Basically like holding up a mirror. Like, what's your relationship with smoking, Rex? Oh, you're doing it because what? Because it helps you de-stress? Well, why are you stressed? Ask that question. Oh, because of this, and this, and this. Okay, so why don't we start working on de-stressing or disconnecting those things? Maybe that won't give you a reason to jump to that cigarette or to that drink. Okay, and then now we have to just work on the physical dependency, because we have two dependencies going on, right? One is a bad habit and the other is now a physical, right? Alcohol and nicotine, substance abuse, whatever it is, the drugs, it's all the same shit. Your mind doesn't know the fucking difference. All it knows is like, I need more of that. I need it. And you reinforce that with your habit and the physical. And now you have to break a really like web of connection with your mind and your body now. So that's what I had to do. I mean, I had to disconnect myself from a lot of bad habits, man. And I did. And it took me a while, right? It took me, and not only did it take a while, but you have to really just be honest with yourself, man. Like I went from cigarettes to vaping, right? Because I was like, hey man, this is different.
It's the better way, right?
It's and then there's the willfully ignorant people out there. And I'm not pointing fingers. I was fucking you. I was that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's just zero nicotine. We're all good. No, it's not. Yeah. I did that for another year after my heart surgery because I thought it was good for you. I was being willfully ignorant. I did not even do the research. I finally started to be really serious about my health. And I found out that it's actually no fucking difference. There's no difference between a zero nicotine vape and like Marlboro fucking Reds. Dude, there is no difference. Your lungs are still getting like tainted by that poison. So I said, okay, Rex, I'm going cold turkey, bro. So I just had to cut it, just cold turkey. And then there's like these other bad habits. I started cutting out some other physical things like fast food, eating out all the time. And then I went on a journey, man, finding your fitness journey. So like this coaching journey that I'm going through and the coaching that I do for our veterans, it's not like do as I say. It's like I did it, man. I went through it. I had to go through it and it was tough. But man, my fucking life now, bro, it's like the veil has been taken off. I feel great. I'm in better shape than I have ever been in my entire life. I could do an Air Force PT test like every morning, no problem. When like before I was stressing every time that PT test came, I was like, I'm stressing. Yeah, I never took my fitness serious. Now it's serious, but it's all because I started really getting down to why are you unfit, Rex? You got to ask these questions. Sometimes it's hereditary. You're fighting against the your culture, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sure you kind of grew up in that era where it was like, oh, here, have another plate. You're looking at sin. Time to eat some more. Yeah. So we're fighting those neural pathways that were built for us from before. We never questioned it, and we continue to do it. And sometimes we even pass that down to our kids, and that's even worse because you're just passing that down now to the other generation. That's fucking crazy. Right. So you're not doing your kids any better. So it's time to like rewrite that scripture that you have in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started taking my fitness serious. I started taking all the things in my life serious, and I also realized that I was needing to ask a really important question, which is why. And this is when I got down to purpose. Like, we all have this question, why? Why am I here? It could be existential, or it could be, why am I at this job? Like, why? Are you asking yourself these questions? And if you are, then that job may not be fulfilling your purpose, right? You may be at the wrong job. And look, we all need to make money. We all need to fucking pay the bills and get it going. But if we can, I see two different problems here. One is an upstream problem and one is a downstream problem. The downstream problem is that we've already been through our transition. We had to learn all this bullshit the hard way. I'm at a job. I hate my job. I hate my life. I hate this, that, and this, that. I'm over fucking weight. I'm smoking. I'm drinking, blah, blah, blah. And now I need to do all this stuff. But now I have a job. But now I have to find another job while I'm at this job. And now this is going to take so much more time. That's the downstream problem, right? Right. We got PTSD. We got depression. We got fucking, substance abuse, maybe, whatever. The upstream problem is, let's just do this right when the fucking veteran gets out of the military. We can start going after this. What's going to be, what's your mission? What's your purpose? Let's help you create a new tribe, or like, I'm not going to create it, but I'm going to teach you how you can build your own tribe. And I'm not talking about getting a bunch of people together to go get fucked up. That's not a tribe, man. Like I said, it needs to pass this filter, which is my VIP filter. It's your value, the importance, and the purpose. Every day, every decision that I make has got to pass that filter. Is it going to add value to me, to my life, to my purpose, to my existence? Is it going to add value? Is it important to me? And is it aligned with my purpose? Very, very important things. You've got to understand those things. And if I knew this, Josh, when I was getting out, if I had a coach in my corner when I got out to say, hey, but I got your back. I'm going to help you. I'm going to fucking connect you with these 3 things that you're about to fucking get disconnected in your life. I'm about to help you get that back before you start making all these bad and wrong decisions in your life. Because look, friends are going to just tell you how it is, right? Friends are going to tell you what you want to hear, right? They're your buddies. They're like, oh, don't worry about it, dude. Fuck it. Let's just go drink our problems away, man. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, great. Thanks, buddy. But listen, they're not trained. They don't know. Yeah. Maybe they grew up with you. All they know is like they know the little you. They know the mijo. They know the guy, the little buddy that they grew up with. They don't know all the shit you went through, man. They don't know the combat experiences, all the depression now. You lost your tribe, you lost your mission, you lost your purpose. They don't know any of that, man. And it's not their fault. They know how to fix you when you were a kid or when you were in high school. They don't know what you're missing now. And sometimes the veteran doesn't know either. So that's what I had to do.
You nailed it.
I had to find out these things about myself. I knew I was surviving day by day, and I knew that I needed to ask that question, why? Why, Rex? Why are you?
Yeah, and I think that's what every veteran.
What do you want? That is the biggest question we can all ask ourselves. Is what do you want? Not what are you feeling? What do you want? Feelings come and go, and feelings change, and feelings can be for anything. No. What do you want, man? What do you want? So, that was it. I started coaching myself. Like I said, I went back to school, and then now I just finished an MBA program at UT, and that's in executive coaching. I started, like I said, applying those real life experiences with different coaching methods and methodologies. And then I started building this one size fits most framework that I was utilizing for myself to help change myself, rebuild my mindset. And like I said, reclaimed my body. I reconnected with my purpose. I built a tribe together again. And together we have, they accumulate my board, which is we have about 50 years experience, military experience. We branch throughout all the military branches. We've got experience in the Gulf War, the Iraq War, the war in Afghanistan. So we've got experience with veterans. And I built mission-focused coaching for those warriors who really, like I said, they never got a proper debrief, man.
Right.
They lost their purpose. They're not sure of the next mission, and they're just alone, like most of us are when we get out. We find out that we're just alone.
Yeah.
And
That's I think that's something
therapy,
that
man. It's not therapy. Therapy is it's good for those people that need to have those issues fixed in the past. I do forward coaching. We coach forward. This like tactical curriculum. It moves the mindset from following orders to following purpose, and from like being alone to building a tribe, and from waiting for those missions to deploy to creating their own.
Yeah.
That's mission focused, and that's our why. And I don't know, did I answer that question?
Dude, you just downloaded so much stuff for everybody listening. It's going to take some rewinds to get back to listening to some of that. But a couple of things. I know exactly where you're coming from. They do not include that.
I can't hear you again.
Oh, here we go again. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, you cut off. I can't hear you.
All right. Uh-oh. Oh, technical diffificulties, people.
I think it started when you brought up the website, maybe.
Oh,
I don't know. I was talking for so fucking long.
Does that work now or no?
No, I still can't hear you.
All right. Well, why Rex
testing,
is
1, 2, 3.
While Rex is trying to figure out his sound,
Say something.
I'm going to touch a couple of things that Rex was talking about, and that
I can
is
hear you on the live.
Yeah, on Tap Class, they don't tell you how to go about finding your new mission. They don't tell you about you just lost everything and you just lost your battle buddies. Nothing's going to be the same. They don't talk about that. When I got out, I tried the VFW, and it was a bunch of the old guys that, set in their ways and didn't want to talk to the young guys. And so went out finding something else. I tried to go a couple different motorcycle clubs. And while that was a close-knit group and having a good time, even motorcycle clubs is not the same thing as serving next to the guys and the ladies that you did with for years. So, it's groups like mission-focused coaching that Rex is talking about. You've got to work on yourself and figure out who you are after the military, right? Because you're not the same person that you are anymore. You're not the same person that you are, and you've got to find out where you're going forward. So there's a lot of reverb coming back from Rex right now.
Oh, can you hear it?
But we always have issues. It'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
What about now?
So, check out Rex Enriquez at mfc4.org. That's his website. Focus Coaching. I believe he's down in Austin, Texas.
Yep.
But again, it's groups like he's doing. You got to get up. You got to find yourself spiritually, mentally, physically. There's the QR code right there on the website that you can find your mission, purpose, tribe. You got to find all those things. Once you find yourself, find those things. That's how you're going to be able to live your life again after service. Rex, I really do want to appreciate you coming on tonight. I think you're doing great things. I can't wait to meet you in person. We're going to have to figure out something in person to co-collaborate here. But keep going strong, and brother, I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, thanks, Josh, for having me on. Thank you for your service. I didn't thank you earlier.
Thank you.
Your service and your sacrifice,
Good.
bud.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, technical difficulties. It happens, right? Not every time you think you got something going, it just wants to go sideways, right? Just like the old man said. If you think you got a plan, just wait till you get punched in the mouth, and then everything changes. So, again, I want to thank Rex for coming on tonight for Mission Focused Coaching. He's got a great message out there, people. It's not just your typical coaching. It's not your typical guy on guy. Hey, you got to get up. You got to fix yourself. He puts it straight to you. He's straightforward. He's intense as I'll get out as anybody comes. Highly suggest reaching out to them. Again, a lot of things right now, I know a lot of people are probably having hard times going on, especially our active duty service members with the government shutdown. You're still working, not getting paid, or I guess we got a donation, going to get some of y'all paid or at least partially paid. But, when we talk about transition and suicide awareness and mental health awareness, this is what we're talking about. Right. When you get out of service, you find yourself, you lose yourself, you lose your mission, you lose your tribe, you lose your purpose. And then you try to find that in whether it's smoking or drinking or other avenues or whatever the case may be. And that is just going to turn into a spiral. Right. And that's going to let those thoughts creep into your head that make you have those thoughts that you're better off not here, that your family's better off not here. And that's definitely the furthest from the truth, because while that might solve your problem, that creates problems for so many other people. But, it's finding those new missions, those new purpose, those new tribes in life that's going to keep you moving forward and keep you moving on. Right. And like I said a couple of times already, you got to find yourself. You got to work on yourself, whether it's finding God or whatever you believe in, spirituality, mental health. You got to take care of it all, because if you can't fix yourself and you can't admit to yourself the problems that you're having, then you're not going to be good for anyone else, whether it's your wife, your husband, your family, your parents. You're not going to be able to help anybody else. Right. We're just being hypocrites if we're telling people, dude, just get up and fix yourself. It's going to be okay. Move on. And then here you are sitting back at home having that pity party, right? We can't be doing that. So it's 8:00 Monday night, North Texas. This is the end of Full Speed Ahead this week. Again, I had Coach Rex Enriquez, the Coach Rex, whatever you want to call him. Find him on Instagram. Find him on Facebook. Again, mfc4vets.org. He'll be out there. I'll be back next week with another great guest. We'll be talking more about transition, more about veteran suicide and mental health awareness. And as I tell you every week, you're not in this alone. You're not in this fight alone. There are people out there to help you. Reach out to one of those veteran groups. Reach out to myself, anybody here at MB Radio. Reach out to Rex. Those other groups are doing great work. So you're not in this alone. You're going to make it through. Times are tough. They always get better. But it takes work, people. It takes work. It's just not going to happen overnight. Got to work on it. So put in the work. Get out the work. You'll be okay in the end. Just keep moving. Whatever you do, keep moving forward. Things will get better. Y'all take care. See you next week. Have a great evening.
Justice Jackson, they captured Herman Goring alive.
Tell me about him.
He's the face of the Nazis. I'm going to put Goring on trial.
Never escapes the hangman's noose. Very sure of yourself.
No man has ever beaten me.
Goring has to fall.
You don't just have to win, you have to be flawless.
You're walking into a trap.
Knowing what we know now, would you still follow Adolf Hitler?
Nuremberg, rated PG-13, opens November 7th, only in theaters.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.